Southern plantations have always been one facet of Louisiana life that spotlights its deep and colorful history. One such plantation, called Nottoway, was built in 1859 and was owned by a wealthy sugar planter named John Hampton Randolph. I'd like to take you on a tour now of this beautiful mansion, which is referred to as a great American treasure. I'm here with Neil Castaldi, the general manager of Nottoway. Hi, Neil.
Hello, Mary. Thank you for coming here.
How amazing is it that a man from Italy would end up at a southern plantation that was built with the architectural style of Italian?
Well, that's a great story on my part, and that my friends make fun of me or share with me. Here I am, an Italian from New York City. The last job that I had was managing resorts in New York City, and I find myself in a plantation in the south, a sugar plantation in the south, managing this wonderful property. But the ironic part about it, that it was based on an Italian-style architecture.
And you know, Neil, the beauty of Nottoway takes your breath away. And being the largest plantation in the south, I think 50,000 square feet, no expense was spared by Randolph.
None whatsoever. For that time in period, I mean, we had gas, which was the first of its kind in the country. There was no expense spared whatsoever of what he did over here. And the ownership of this of the plantation right now is try as much as they can to stay true to that feeling of continuing to pour in millions of dollars in keeping up with the house. And as we're going through a very large expansion, we are continuing to hold that tradition of sparing no expenses to continue to make this the premier plantation in the South.
You know, I think it was, what, a $10 million renovation to be exact?
Exactly. It was a $10 million to restore it to its original glory. And now we're spending about another $5 million to add additional cottages and additional banquet and meeting rooms.
Another interesting thing about Nottoway is that you actually have a museum here featuring a lot of artifacts. And I was fascinated by the fact that during the Civil War, Nottoway was owned by both the North and the South. And I think the plantation got shot at a couple of times. And you have either a bullet or it looks like a cannon piece to me in the museum.
Well, yes, absolutely. And actually we have not only the actual cannon piece, but we still have the damage that was done to the column. And we point that out to our tourists that come here. That basically back at those times, there were ships that were going up and down the river, and depending on what alliance of a ship that was, they would shoot every once in a while. They would take some shots at Nottoway, and one of them landed in one of our columns that holds up the structure of the house.
Neil, Nottoway is a romantic destination for weddings, isn't it?
It's our prime business model here. We do about 110, 120 weddings per year, and we're really very well known to be what is now called a destination wedding place, that people from all over the world or the country, they choose this site because it just a fairy tale site for a ceremony and a wedding. So we host brides from literally all over the world here.
Neil, we're sitting in the White Ballroom, which is one of the places that's most popular in the plantation for weddings.
Well, this was the social room back in the Randolph area in the 1800s. That's where they held all their major social events, and obviously it continues to this date to be the site of classical, beautiful weddings. And of course, this holds about maybe 50 to 100 people. And we have another ballroom, not in the same style, obviously, but it can hold about 300 people. But this is the jewel of the house when it comes to wedding.
I understand you're going to be doing an extension of your renovation and adding on a lot in the next couple of months.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we are currently building 40 additional rooms, another banquet facilities and tennis courts, and making this a year-round resort. And
I've also heard that a most beautiful time of year is Christmas.
It's by far, Mary. It's absolutely a gorgeous time of the year. We're turning the grounds into a winter wonderland with the lights on all the trees, and church choirs and school children coming over here to decorate our trees. So it's just an absolutely wonderful time of the year. We did our very first annual tree lighting ceremony this past December, and it's going to get bigger and bigger every year.
Neil, I'd love for you to take me on a quick tour of some of those beautiful rooms here.
I'd love to. I have so much to see, and I want to show you around.
Great, let's go. We begin in the master bedroom. This was John Randolph and wife Emily's private room. The bed is a hand-carved rosewood poster bed. Hollow posts that frame the bed could be raised to hide valuables in during the Civil War. The bed, nightstand, and armoire are original pieces to the home. Next, we have Cornelia's room, the oldest of Randolph's 11 children. Her bed was made in New Orleans around 1840. The height of the bed complements the high ceiling and has a small bed underneath, which was often used by a servant. I must admit this is my favorite room because it's the room I slept in when staying at Nottoway for Valentine's Day. A favorite room of the Randolph family was the music room. This room was used for both entertaining and for the children's music lessons. The girls took piano from a German instructor and also dancing lessons. The room includes many valuable instruments of that period.
Neil, this is true Southern hospitality. Sitting on the porch at Nottoway in the rocking chairs with the mint julep, I propose a toast.
I agree with you, and to Nottoway's future.
Enchanté.
Enchanté.